This is your super license. Tied to your super license is your fans. Select the Edit Expression. This is where you can swap the expression label.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to CRL Euro Mini League for round 7 here at the Dutch GP. My name is Indigo, and the first time for this season, I'll be your commentator, as I should have been in the first round back at the Silverstone Grand Prix. But I'm here today for this 18-minute qualifying session and 36-lap race. The Drivers' Championship is already wrapped up with there's 3 rounds left to go. And Danielle, sorry, I feel like I've been waiting forever to watch a stream again, says Danielle Wilson, supporting her man Mark Wilson, who's currently in the Kick Sauber and about to make his way out of the pit lane too. So let's see what he could do on his first appearance here. First tour around here at the Zandvoort Grand Prix. I believe there's a Racing Bull, or Red Bull, sorry, out on the circuit first, which is Wee Rabbi the Scotsman. So we'll go on board with him first, as it's usually the traditional thing I usually do when someone comes out the pit lane first, to give them the spotlight and the rights to see what they can do on their flying lap. It can be a very tricky track, especially in the high-speed corners there. It's very easy to caught out by the corners and also the chat limits as well around here, but it shouldn't be too bad. But we know in the 23 game where everybody struggles, but we'll see then how everybody manages it around here, around the 4.2 kilometer circuit, as Wee Rabbi takes a bit of to be doing that on his flying lap, because it will spin you off the circuit there. So you'll be very wary at how you take the curbs around here, depending if you've got the downforce themselves and getting on the right getting on the loud pad at the right time. So we'll see then what Wee Rabbi can do as he makes his way now towards the final 2 corners. The banked corner where the DRS is enabled right there and not on the straight itself. So here is Wee Rabbi then. The cars have enough downforce to activate DRS there as we go for a flying lap on board with the Red Bull driver as he makes his way down towards turn 1, then braking just before the 50-meter board down into third gear, not really hitting the apex on the entry because it will send the back end away as we go down towards turn 2, flick it in. He just lifts off there as we go down towards turn 3 into second gear as he slowly gets back up to the throttle. Then you can see the medium traction control or full, a bit sluggish on the exit, but obviously with no traction control you can just absolutely send it if you've got the car straightened up as well. So we make our way down towards turn 7 at Tarzan. Just, I think it's flat out these days in these Formula 1 cars. Should be no problem here. Into the corner where Logan Sargent crashed, I think, last year in the qualifying session. He crashed twice, didn't he, during the weekend. He got himself into Q3. Then he crashed in the Q3 session, and he also retired in the race too. So this track not really suited for Logan Sargent because he did crash at the exit of turn 3 last year. And it cost him a seat as well as he burned the car with updates that got attached to the Williams car. As we make our way now towards the final 2 corners, I believe Alex Albon crashed here last season as the DRS is enabled then, and we'll see what the lap time is set for the first time on the board for the Scotsman as he makes his way down towards the line. It's going to be a 10.5, and we'll see if anybody else could beat it. Here comes Mark Wilson now, the DRS and the overtake available to use as he crosses the line. He's currently 8 tenths away, so he'll be looking to improve on that one as the mighty Aston goes into P3, and now 4-star and the Aston Martin goes into P2, just under 2 tenths shy of Wee Rabbi's time, as Hobbsy now goes into pole with a 10.0, so that's half a second that clears Hobbsy and Rabbi. Then Hobbsy's been looking fine so far, and I think he's scored a podium too, if I remember him saying correctly, or he's close to scoring a podium. Let me go check the results as he gets out of the way. Glowstick here goes towards the top of the timing sheets at 9.7. I do remember Glowstick in the season 8, season 9 in tier 2 or 3 when he was regularly challenging for first place. I don't know if this was one of his good tracks. I remember his name around here in Zandvoort for whatever reason. But yeah, I believe Glowstick's particularly quick around this track. Harry Palmer, I actually didn't know he was racing. I thought he was doing an ACC league, but he goes ahead of his Red Bull teammate by a tenth, or just over a tenth, or under a tenth. Sorry, as my mathematics aren't really correct there, but he goes into P3, slots on the second row of the grid, and we just awaited other people's time. Then we go on board with the Ferrari man, which is Polishman. His name is Bean. I didn't even know it was him until the last few minutes of before the stream started. As we make our way now towards the battle to call us the Polishman, let's see what he could do. I remember him being teammates with Indian Jesus in season, I think it was season 9. It's got to be, because we haven't had season 11 yet. And I remember him and his Aston Martin teammate fighting for victories. Although Polishman did have a bit of a struggle fest when it was season 9 alongside his teammates. I know he suffered a few spins now and then, got himself in a few incidents, but I'll never forget those days because it was so special commentating for Tier 1 and Tier 3 at the same time. All those memories you used to have and all the drivers as well that really made this league in the peak days. But I dare say the peak days was back in 2021, maybe 2022. But yeah, I do miss the old times here. Unfortunately, the game not really to everybody's liking, and therefore we don't have the numbers up to try and make a new season. Season 11. This is season 10.5. But I really do hope, as of RB is off the circuit at turn 8 there, so he goes a bit wide. I think he gets out of the way now for the Red Bull drive. Could that have been Sweet Crown as Spider gets a bit of a toe from the driver in front of us? Let's go on board to see who that was. No, it's not Sweet Crown. It could have been his teammate or a Red Bull, because I do get confused between I think it was Glow Stick, but I think he's on his in-lap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just maybe getting out of the way for somebody there. As Ruben, here he is, then the Tier 3 driver, also remember him as well back in those days, and we'll see then as he exits turn 10 what he could do in this middle sector. Going for another lap on the set of soft compound tyres, so that's his second lap, I believe, or maybe his third lap on the set of soft. So here he is then, as somebody just moved up the order. It was the McLaren driver of Ralphie who goes up into P3. Good time there from Ralphie. I believe he's also from the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. I did see 2 Dutch people in the session. But here comes Ruben then in the Alpine. Let's see what he could do as he crosses the line now. Goes up into P7. Does improve by 5/10 or just under. But expect him to improve a bit more as Sweet Crown goes into P2 in the RB. So it's currently in RB1-2 as RB, I think, are well ahead in the championship, are cemented for P1 as well. So Glow Stick's ahead of his teammate, and we'll see then what Sweet Crown could do in response as he goes back towards the pit lane, because he only fueled the car up for 1 lap as well. Did the Dutchman. He dominated at the Monaco Grand Prix. I was watching Harry Palmer's share screen, and he absolutely flew away as well. So we'll see then how it turns out here at the Dutch GP. We got Portimao last time out, and I think it was Sweet Crown who won the race with, I think, 4-star in... No, it was Blue Moon who was in P2, and I believe it was 4-star who finished in 3rd place. I believe it was a wet race as well, or towards the end. Some people complain about the intermediates, or maybe the intermediates being better, so I think it was particularly a wet race there. Maybe wet at the end of the race. Good stuff indeed then. Malvin goes up into P6 in the Williams then. There he is currently on his 2nd lap, I think it is. But he doesn't have enough EOS installed to go that 2nd lap. He is 1.9 seconds down, so we're not going to continue on board with him. We'll go on board with the man who's currently sitting in P3, and he got a gap of 3/10 between himself and his nearest competitor in P4. So we'll see then what Hobbsy could do. Has Hobbsy scored a podium this season? That's one thing I need to check. No, he hasn't. His closest finish, I think, is P4. That's 2 times. So Hobbs is currently P4 in the championship, and he got 38 points. He's currently 9 points away from 3rd man Blue Noon, which should take away from him because Blue Noon is not here tonight. Let's go on board with the Hash driver to see how he does as we head down towards turn number 1. Let's see how he takes it then. Uses a bit of curb on the entry there as he gets back on the throttle, rotates the car really nicely, bringing it over to the left-hand side to flick it in into turn 2 and in turn 3. You can see that the back end wanted to step out there as he changed the direction, going through 2 and 3 as we get back on the throttle once again. 4-star goes up into P4, 26 milliseconds ahead of Ralphie. Here comes Hobbsy now into 7th gear, downshift into 6th because he got a bit bogged down there as we make our way now towards this double right-hander. Use the curve really nicely to rotate the car a bit more as we head down towards 9. A bit of oversteer on the exit as we go towards 10. Ooh, my voice is literally going, so let me just sort that out before I continue talking. But Hobbsy does find a bit of time in the middle sector by a 10th, dips the wheel on the gravel, but it shouldn't affect him too much. I know a lot of people do that as well as we arrive at such speed heading down towards the chicane. Going through the final 2 corners then with the DRS enabled. Let's see what the Hassman can do. Can he get himself anywhere near Walter, as he's currently under a 10th slower than the man in P2. As he crosses the line, he does go P2 with a 9.8. Then apologies on the notifications on the right side of the screen there. Hopefully you guys don't see that, but Hobbsy splits both RBs and puts himself in a really competitive place in P2. 4-star who just popped himself into P4 a few moments ago. I think he may be heading back into the pit lane, which he is. Harry Palmer is currently out there. He's gone purple in the first sector, but he's quite low on the battery as he's gone for his 3rd run on the set of soft compound tyres. Must have gone off the circuit somewhere because, as you can see, there's a bit of dirt on the side pod of that Red Bull on the Oracle sponsor as we go down now, taking a wider angle through there. Not many people do that, but he is a 10th up in the middle sector, so that suggests to me that there's plenty more time for Harry Palmer, to find more time in this last sector or on his next flying lap as we head towards the final 2 corners. Then he goes out wide And unfortunately for him, does Harry Palmer. So the trip to the pits might be necessary, which it is. I believe he's carrying a lot of fuel in that car because the fuel light is not flashing up on the screen, is it? There's Bean in the Ferrari. Looks like he's made a mistake on his lap and heading back into the pit lane. No invalidation there for him. Weeraby's in P4. He's currently at 1.7 seconds down in the first sector, so not on a lap. And Curly is he on a lap? I think he is, but he was lagging just a bit. He said 6/10 up in the middle sector, so we'll continue with his progress. Currently down in P14 with a 12.2. As we head out of the final corner with the DRS enabled. I want to watch Sweetcar's lap when he comes around the next time. Here he is, Curly. Can he beat a 12? Yes, he is. He's inside the 11s. It's 11.7. He puts himself ahead of Rob with a 13.7. So go on board with Sweetcar, and then the man I want to watch as we go down into turn 1. Locks up a bit on the entry, but that would affect him too much as we feather the throttle going out of turn 1, going into 2. Let's see how he takes it. A slight lift off. No need to brake, but doesn't take the right angle going down into 3. A bit too acute on the inside, and they compromise him at the corner 2. Dips the wheel on the grass there as he backs out of his lap time. So already in the first sector for Sweetcar, not a good lap, not a handy lap he needs. Not quite sure if he hasn't had any much practice or running no assist, but however, that lap time, it won't be good enough as there's 6 minutes left on the clock. It's still Glowstick who's up there in P1 in the RB, a 9.7 ahead of Matthew Hobbsey. Sweetcar in P3 ahead of Weeraby. 4-star in 5th ahead of Ralphie. I just got a bit confused there between the Red Bull and the RB. When I looked at the track map, just seeing who's where on the track. Malvin, let's see what he's doing then. A 10.4. Is he preparing for another flying lap? I think he is. So let's stay on board with him to see what he's doing. Although we've got others out there. Curly's making his way through turn 1. Sorry, Ruben is as we exit the corner. And we've got the Mighty Atom. Both Alpines down in P11 and P12. Albeit though, Mighty Atom has lost his wing. So somewhere in the first sector, had a bit of an excursion and hit the wall. And luckily for him, he could get back in the pit lane because he's got plenty of time left to try and set a competitive lap time. Well, I say competitive, a decent lap time for him. Sorry about that, Curly, Mighty. As Ruben was up in the first sector, but I didn't quite see what it was because I was watching that free fall is in the session, so nice to see him join. And later, as always, is free fall. But Ruben, who gets on the grass and drifts to the corner and returns to the track in a fashion. What a fantastic fantastic way to get back at the track there for Woodburn, arriving in style. Looked like he was about to spin the car as soon as he lost it, but managed to keep it going in the right direction. But that lap time is lost there as there's 15 drivers now on the circuit or in the lobby. There should be one more, shouldn't there? ILT Crack. So hopefully the Polishman can join a session. I don't believe it's Polish. Where is ILT Crack from? I forgot now. It's not the Netherlands. I think he's from Germany, is ILT Crack, or it could be ILT Phil. I'm not quite sure. Or is he Irish? I actually can't remember where he's from. But ILT Crack, who was a contender for Season 9 champion for Tier 3 or Season 10. I can't remember. I can't exactly tell the difference between those two seasons because it's been a long time. But he was a contender with, I think it was Indian Jesus and somebody else as well. It was Rapid, ILT Crack, Rapid and Indian Jesus. All three of them went to that championship, and I believe Indian Jesus came out on top. The championship gets swapping hands every single race. Remember, all three of them had their own mistakes, especially Indian Jesus in the first race at Saudi Arabia when he crashed with his teammate in turn 3. And also ILT Crack and ILT Phil. ILT Crack and Rapid made contact as well, I think, at the Monza Grand Prix, because the race before, Indian Jesus missed a race because he was on holiday, I think, or had a week off. And he was hoping that he wouldn't lose the championship. And he didn't lose the championship either because Crack and Rapid hit each other at the exit of turn 3. So somebody looks like they're stationary at the exit of turn 1. Could that be? Who is that? Who is stationary at the exit of turn 1? Mighty Atom. He just came out the pit lane because he's on his outlap. So I wonder what's happened to him. And he's got off the circuit and parked it and in reverse. So what's going on there for the Mighty Atom in P12? Letting somebody through? I'm not quite sure. But we'll go on board with Mark Wilson then, or not go on board with him. I believe he's just crossed the line to go up into P10 in the Sauber. Just inside the top 10, although the gap is 4 tenths between himself and Wubin. Hobbsley's on a lap. Where is he? Somebody in the RB is flying past. Where is he? That's Sweet Crown. He's on an out lap. He's right behind the Alpine driver. Hopefully not a fireplace good penalty because I can't be bothered to start the stream again or start the lobby. But Hobbsy was on a lap time, but I believe he's made a mistake out of turn 2, turn 3. So Hobbsy's backed out already. The advantage is, if you make a mistake early doors on a flying lap, especially around here in Zandvoort, you can recharge the battery very quickly and save the tyres, because the tyres won't be too stressed and too worn. But if you validate somewhere like turn 10, it takes a lot of time to recharge the battery too. So, luckily for him, it was down at turn 2 and turn 3. Hopefully no major damage, whatever it was. Maybe just a slight mistake, slight lock-up, or maybe oversteered at the corner, but I'm not quite sure what happened to Hobbsy. Maybe go for another push, double push lap. Go on board with the Dutchman then, the champion of the Mini Euro League, the man that's got 25 wins in Cone. Here we go. Down into turn 1 we go for Sweet Crown. There's somebody who's just gone off the track and smashed into the wall. That's Marty Atom doing a joke on you as he's got into the wall at the first corner. As we head down towards turn 3, there is a Haas in the way. That's not Hobbsy because we just saw him, so I think it is Freefall who might have got in the way of Sweet Crown. Hopefully it hasn't affected the Dutchman too much. As we make our way towards the top of the hill, it's 2 tenths up in the first sector, so Sweet Crown on an absolute flyer, despite being the first sector, finally gets it hooked up as he has been struggling. Harry Palmer now goes towards the top of the time machines. Mark Wilson has just crashed out of turn 3. Did a Daniel Ricciardo and Oscar Piastri and smashed into the wall, unfortunately for Mark Wilson. He's out of qualifying. Here comes Sweet Crown now. Can he take pole away from Harry Palmer as we make our way towards the end of the middle sector? Still 2 tenths up, or 2 and a bit tenths up, as Melvin's retired. There's been a crash. Free fall. What is he doing? He's lost his wing as well. As we go back on board with Sweet Crown then, as he makes his way towards the final 2 corners. Can he raise the bar? Can he take pole away from Harry Palmer? Looks like a very competitive lap, and it is. It's a 9.2 there for the champion of season 10.5. And he raised the bar once again by 5 tenths of a second. The Mighty Ass has retired as well. No, he hasn't. He's left the session, so I think he might have steering wheel issues. We just saw him face plant the wall into turn 1. But I don't know what Freefall is doing down there in P15. He's slowly making his way as he's been disqualified from the session. Meanwhile, the other RB, Glowstick, goes up into P2. So RB are looking fine so far as Glowstick and Sweet Crown. As Glowstick's smashed into the wall because he knows that's qualifying ended. And he's crashed where Oscar Piastri did back in 2023. Which gave Daniel Ricciardo a broken wrist. And that's when Liam Lawson made his debut. Hobbsy's up into P4 in the Haas. Great job from him. We Robbie just cost the line to go to P5. 4-star is still on a lap time, as I supported him earlier on before the lobby started. Bean goes up into P6, does the Polishman. As 4-star there, really fighting with trash at the exit at turn 8, not responding at all as he makes his way out of the corner there with the DRS and overtake enabled. Hobbsy's retired at the exit of the chicane. So he knows his qualifying is done and dusted. No time left on the board as qualifying has been concluded. I think somebody else has just moved up the order too. I don't think they have. Just a bit of a change there. I just saw a bit of a flicker from the graphics on the left hand side, or maybe my eyes, but I'm not quite sure. Here comes 4-star now out of the final corner. Let's see what the Force India can do as he crosses the line, goes up into P6. I didn't even mean to say Force India, it just came out. I wasn't even thinking. But the Aston Martin, goes up into P6. Haven't said Force India for such a long time. That just slipped out. But the Mighty Atom has rejoined the session. That's very loud, that music is, so I have to turn my earphones down. But it's an RB12 ahead of the main Red Bull team of Harry Palmer. Once again, doing a great job as always, Harry Palmer. Ems Hobbsy in 4th ahead of Wee Rabby. So both Red Bulls, both RBs looking very competitive there at the top 5. 4-star P6 ahead of Bean. Ralphie in P8. He is Dutch, by the way, so I got that right. Malvin's in P9 ahead of Mark Wilson. Ruben's in P11 ahead of Curly. Mighty after 13th. Spider 14th. And Freefall in 15th place. One thing I do remember from this race in season 9, I believe it was, around here in Zandvoort at tier 3, MCFC Harvey. And who was it at the time? The Mercedes and the Ferrari made contact at the top of the hill, and they brought out a safety car as well. That was a fantastic race because I think they believe there was 3 safety cars that came out during that race. It was a massive crash towards the top of the hill. The Mercedes and the Ferrari connected wheels and made contact with each other too. It was definitely Harvey, MCFC Harvey, but I can't remember who the other one was. It was Chris. Yeah, that was the one. Chris was the one that made contact with him at the top of the hill. I'll never forget IoT Crack, Indian Jesus, and Rapid going at it. I'm IoT Crack, just changed the name. So, IoT Crack just said, I'm IoT Crack, which I'm not quite sure. Is IoT Crack in this session? I'm not quite sure if he is or not. Oh, he's Malvin. Yeah, I understand now. He's Malvin, so that is IoT Crack. So those two made contact with each other. Freefall apologised for that one as he was loitering around on the circuit. F1 Waitsy says, alright guys and girls, how we doing? I'm good, thank you mate, and how are you doing? I really hope we can get a league going on F1 2024 for season 11. We had that 2020 league, but I'm not quite sure if that's still running or not because of the lack of numbers. So the formation lab will get going as the 15 drivers will have the chance to warm their tyres up, as it's very difficult to warm these tyres up. You can't brake and accelerate like you used to in the old game. All good, dude. Nice to see you streaming again. Thank you, Wacy. Appreciate that, mate. It was season 10 then. Got a bit confused between season 9 and season 10. IoT Crack was rapid around here in season 10, round 11. I think he won the race. He was on the right strategy at the right time as well. Glowstick was Glowstick, that's why I remember his name. He was also up there towards the top end of the field, but don't I remember him retiring from the race? I don't know. It was Steve and Crack and Glowstick, and I just had a glimpse past the past where I remember him being towards the top end of the field. And that's why Glowstick's very competitive around here at Zandvoort. Just remember seeing his name, and also IoT Crack or Malvin is very quick as well. That was 7 months ago because I just found the stream and I was right about Glowstick being up there in season 3. I got a good memory around here in Cone. Very good memory indeed. Especially for F1, but maybe not in real life. Maybe in real life I need a better memory because I barely remember anything. But the top 3, or shall I say the top 3, 2 of them are disqualified, and Sweet Crown's already there in P1. So Sweet Crown then taking things into his own hands and deciding he wants to get to the front of the field and get the race going. We're just waiting for the rest of them to line up on the grid, and we'll see what happens going down into 1 as an RB of Glowstick spins the car. Won't do his tyres any favours at all. I'm trying to find the comments, but I've realised I'm on the wrong video, so there we go then. Have I lost the sound? No, I haven't. I thought I lost the sound then because the audio just went for a split second. So all back to normal. I missed my CRL days. It was nice to see it still going. I miss watching these. What happened? Why did it all stop? It's all because of the 24 game, sorry. Birds, there are the 3, 4, 5 lights then. We are underway here at the Zandvoort Grand Prix for round 7 of the race. Let's see who gets best. Glowstick in the second phase will go down the inside if he can. Going down into 1. Will they make contact or will they get unscathed? Sweet Crown has the outside line. He maintains the lead of the race with Re-Rappy there on the soft compound tyres. Just dropping backwards. Lost the way towards Bean now. There's contact going down into 3. That was Re-Rappy and Bean making contact. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Hobbsy is now ahead of Bean. The Ferrari got pinched there on the inside line. Going down into turn 3, had nowhere to go and therefore lost the place towards Hobbsy, so he's shuffled backwards into P6. Is there any for wind damage? I am not quite sure, but Glowstick had a chance to go down the inside but couldn't quite pay it off. Malvin's in P6 there in the Williams, so let's see what happens to him. He is IoT Crack. I think he made up a lot of places. Look at them all squirming away as they try to find a traction. 4-star is on the hard compound tyres, so the most durable, but they won't be in the working range just yet as Hobbsy has been overtaken by Malvin. We go down towards the chicane, we go. They're going side by side and someone's about to go off the track, which is the Williams driver. He keeps the throttle pinned, fighting with his old team there in the house as he was in the house in season 10. and stays ahead, but he's already broken the DRS though between the rest of the field. Here comes Glowstick now on the back of Sweet Crown. Was very competitive. He won season 10 Division 3, sorry, got mixed up there, but yeah, messed up the moment, but he can't go down the inside of Sweet Crown. Sweet Crown just defends. Here comes Hobbsy versus Bean as we go down towards turn 1 once again. These two continue their battle. Hobbsy giving a tap there towards the Ferrari, and here comes the McLaren of Ralphie now looking to go over the inside, but Glowstick is all over the back of Sweet Crown. There he is there, pushing the RB. It's Red Bull versus RB, as here comes Harry Palmer down the inside of Tarzan. Can he do it? Yes, he can. What a move from Palmer, but Glowstick, he could have tried and hang it out on the outside, goes off the track, and here comes the Red Bull as Glowstick has to rejoin on the circuit there into 4th place. So Glowstick has been shuffled into P5 now as his Williams driver has overtaken him. ILT Crack. These two had a fantastic fight back in season 10. They were fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix, and Wee Rabbit's now up to P3 on them soft compound tyres. So it's worked in Red Bull's favours. One RB has gone, and now Sweet Crown will find himself under pressure from the Red Bulls behind. RB versus Red Bull. Last time RB beat Red Bull was back in 2008 in the Constructors, where Sebastian Vettel picked up a win and some handy points finishes too, as Mark Webber and DC were the drivers as DC announced his retirement. Here comes then Wee Rabbit, and here comes Harry Palmer now taking the lead away from Sweet Crown. Goes up the inside, goes a bit deep. Will Sweet Crown get it back on the exit? He will. Nice move there from Sweet Crown to do the switch back, and he puts himself back into 1st place. Nice move there from Harry Palmer, but unfortunately just outbroke himself, which allowed Sweet Crown to go up the inside again and get it back on the exit. Wee Rabbit's on the soft compound tyres, so he needs to make progress as much as he can. Are these two Red Bull drivers going to work together? I don't think they're in the same party as each other, so I think it's just free-for-all between those two. Can Glowstick get himself back into DRS? The more these three fight, the better chance Glowstick has a chance of getting himself back in DRS range. So maybe he could drag along ILT cracking P5 as well, and Hobbsy too for good measure. So if these three continue fighting, we may see the train be back together, and Glowstick is just outside the 1 second range of DRS there. He's still got a sufficient amount of ERS, so maybe he needs to use a bit more to try and get himself back in that contention and try and get himself back in this battle. I think he should not have gone around the outside of turn 7. It's such a quick corner. I think he should have let Harry Palmer go and focused on Wee Rabbit behind, although we had both Red Bulls coming at him at the same time. Here comes the Ferrari. Bean now going side by side. A Glowstick has set the fast up the Grand Prix, so we've still got some good pace on his hands as we go down towards turn 1. Mark Wilson is ahead of Ralphie, sorry. He puts himself into P8 ahead of the McLaren driver. 4 stars dropping backwards. Spider gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane as he changes over and changes his nose as well. As unfortunate for him, he'll come out at the back of the field as we continue this battle there between Sweet Crown, Harry Palmer and Rabbi. Glowstick is just there, almost under a second of DRS. Can he get it down our back straight? Sorry, I just had my dinner a few moments ago, so I'm still full and out of breath already. But anyways, we go through turn 10. Harry Palmer finds himself Wee Rabbit all of the back of him. Do you think that Harry Palmer should let him go? Oh, Harry Palmer there drifting through turn 11 and turn 12. And luckily saves the car. But do you think that Harry Palmer should let Wee Rabbit go and chase after Sweet Crown? I'm not quite sure for this. I think Wee Rabbit is being held up massively here. He knows that he's on the better tyres and Harry Palmer's in the way. If Harry Palmer can move to the right hand side and try and let his teammate go and still put pressure on Sweet Crown ahead of him, Sweet Crown's done a fantastic job to maintain the pressure from the guys behind. And now Glowstick is in this battle, finally back in the battle. So that mistake at turn 9, I believe it is, or turn 7, hasn't phased him at all as Freeform moves himself up into P11. Does the Scotsman ahead of Curly. Just joined in late, he didn't have a time on the ball, started down in P15 or 14 because somebody else has qualified themselves. And he put himself outside the top 10. His next target is 4-star on the hard compound tyres, going for that durable tyre, but it doesn't seem to be working. There's a McLaren who's gone for the circuit at the exit. Oh, look at that. Harry Palmer's made a mistake, and here comes Wee Rabbit to take advantage. The gap has been broken now from Sweet Crown and Harry Kane. And he gets another twitch. Here comes the RB Glowstick side by side with Wee Rabbit as we go down towards turn 11. Glowstick's trying to go around the outside. Can he do it? Yes, he can. And here comes ILT Crack up the inside of Rabbit. Gives him a bit of a shove at the exit there as Marvin's now up to P4 ahead of the Red Bull driver. But now the DRS has been broken. Can Sweet Crown now pull away from these guys and leave them to dust? Harry Palmer was struggling out of turn 8 and turn 9 there. And here comes Glowstick now, looking to take P2 away. Can he go around the outside of turn 1? Harry Palmer lays the brakes, but Glowstick gets the outside line with better traction. And he puts himself back into P2. Can he hunt down Sweet Crown? The Scotsman's got some formidable pace around here, even on a different game, as Harry Palmer now struggling because ILT Crack is all at the back of him. This is reminiscent of season 10, 7, sorry. That's so confusing to say. Season 10, round 7, division 3. Because ILT Crack and Glowstick had a massive scrap towards the last stages of that race. I think Glowstick just won, as Steve picked himself up a 3-second time penalty, which dropped him at the podium that day. This is by pure memory as well, as I try to keep an eye on what's going on here, because you can see that Wee Rabby is very frustrated down there in P5 on them soft compound tyres. He knows he needs to make ground up on them softs, but he can't do it because this DRS train and also the guys battling everywhere. ILT Crack's done a good job to get himself in this DRS range because he got taken out by Freefall, I believe, as Freefall did apologise, and he started in P9 as well, so great job. Although Wee Rabby is right behind him, looking to overtake him, try and reclaim P4, which he does, side by side with those two, with the DRS wide open, but ILT Crack will swoop around the outside. There's contact there as Wee Rabby took the apex into turn 1, unsettled the rear and caused him to oversteer into Melvin. I'm always amazed how you guys... Curly's retired, by the way, in the pit lane, I think, so that's the end of his race. I'm always amazed how you guys remember everything. I can barely remember what happened last week. Well, that's funny because I only remember what happened in F1. And in real life, I can barely remember what happened yesterday. Literally. I remember in the F2 race last year when we had that massive crash at the up the hill towards turn 7 where Jack Crawford, Ralph Boschong and Miney had a big crash there. I think it was in the feature race. And it was the sprint race, sorry. But here comes Malvin now side by side with Harry Palmer. And that's Glowstick, who's right behind Sweet Crown then. So Glowstick's got some fantastic pace. And now he's putting the race leader under massive pressure. Can he win again like he did Season 10, Div 3, sorry. Come on, Jamie. As we now make our way on the straight. Glowstick's looking for the inside line, the outside line, sorry, as he puts himself now in the lead of the Grand Prix after being down in P5 momentarily. A few laps to go. Here comes Harry Palmer now side by side with the Williams as we go down to 1. Marvin has the outside line. Harry Palmer tries to stick with him, but he can't quite do so. We're seeing plenty of moves around the outside of turn 1. Gets a better line out of there. It's Harry Palmer optimistic to go back down the inside. Now going side by side as they connect wheels as we make our way now towards the top of the hill. Harry Palmer puts himself back over to P3, but does he? As we swing through Tarzan, Harry Palmer carrying the speed around the outside. ILT Crack trying to hang in there as Harry Palmer then eventually gets P3. Great job indeed, but Sweet Crown as Glowstick once again goes off the track by himself this time. Harry Palmer goes through, ILT Crack goes through. Harry Palmer went a bit wider at turn 7, gave Melvin second place, and now going wheel to wheel again. Glowstick's off the circuit here, he's making lots of mistakes here. Here's the Scotsman. It's a shame as both Red Bulls now going side by side into chicane we go. Wee Rabby trying to go around the outside of his teammate, which he does on them soft compound tyres. But Glowstick now looking to take advantage as Palmer got swamped by his teammate. Big mistakes, good pace, but unfortunately consistency is not there as Glowstick maybe pushed a bit too hard at the exit of turn 7 and turn 8 there. And now Sweet Crown once again has been released and out of this DRS train. And here comes Rabby now, trying to go around the outside of this turn. We'll see plenty of moves around the outside. Does he have the grip? No, he's not alongside him enough to try and go around the outside and stays in P3. Those soft compound tyres are still holding on nicely there despite the mediums maybe brought back into play. Glowstick is drifting through turn 3, locking up the brakes there as he tries to get the car slowed down, but we've seen some fantastic battles so far. Sweet Crown not running away with this one, although he is right now because the DRS has been broken between himself and second place. ILT Crack, who started in P9, is now up into P2. This is fantastic battle, and I wish I was here for the whole season now. A bit like Mark, anything F1 he remembers, anything else, no chance. Yeah, people do say as Glowstick now goes up the inside of turn 10, but can't quite make it stick. He hooked the inside curb there, and that won't give him any sort of good release at the corner as Harry Palmer was able to stay in P4. They're all struggling there, locking the rear brakes up, but Sweet Crown's not really pulling away. from Melvin. The gap is 2 seconds. The Haas of Freefall has gone for a spin, although I should keep an eye on battle for P4 because we're about to go side by side. Here we are. Glowstick there with the DRS open side by side on the back in there as he almost makes contact and almost spins the car with Harry Palmer sticking on the outside. Glowstick is really aggressive, and this is what cost him during this race. Making moves in unconventional places as Mark Wilson now puts her Sauber up into P8, and now he gets ahead of the McLaren driver. So great drive so far. Next target is Hobbsy in P7. Hobbsy, who started I think in P4, down into 7th place after contact I think on the opening laps, as Bean is ahead of him in the Ferrari. Those two running a lonely race as Spider's gone off in the background there. There he is in P14. Making a mistake out of turn 8, I believe that is. Harry Palmer is out of the race and the safety cars came out. Where is he crashed? Let's have a look. The Red Bulls crashed in a very odd place. I say odd, I don't think it is, because that curb could catch a lot of people out and smashed into the wall there, and unfortunately out of the race is Harry Palmer. That was a fantastic battle we just saw on the opening laps of this race, and he's out of the race now. It's a shame. I loved that multi-car battle there between the top 5, but Palmer unfortunately pushed a bit too hard. Going out wide, maybe took the curb and skated across the curb and smashed into the wall. But things are calming down now, and we'll see then, will these medium runners pit onto a brand new set of hardcore powered tyres? That's probably the only explanation really. Can't go on the sauce because they won't make it towards the end. Can't pit for new mediums because they're going to pit again. As all the drivers got to make sure they adhere to the pit lane speed limiter, because it's so easy to catch people out. Hobbsy takes P5 away in the pit lane. What an overtake from Hobbsy. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he got P5, and can he rejoin ahead of the Ferrari? That was a fantastic overtake there for the Haasman. I don't know if that was purposeful or not, but he controlled the car like Sebastian Vettel did on Carlos Sainz and Nico Hulkenberg back in 2016. And he's jumped Glowstick and Bean. That's 2 for 1 there in the pit lane. Hobbsy put himself into 4th place, as 4-star has decided to stay on the hardcore power tyres then, so he's not going to go to the mediums. He feels like the mediums can't go 26 laps, so yeah, his strategy hasn't got his way. He needs the safety car to come out much later, but it's a bit too early for his strategy. But what an overtake there from Hobbsy. I thought he's going to smash into the back of Bean or pick himself up a 10-second penalty, but smashed into the pit lane limiter speed sign, but luckily did not lose his front wing either. I bet Hobbsy's glad that I called that one on stream. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was great car control to slow it down and make sure it didn't hit the back of Bean, lose his end plate. Feel sorry for 4-star there in P1. So that's our first safety car. Cool! There's a Ferrari who spun at the exit of turn 10. That's Bean. Just lost the car there. Has he broke his wing? I think these guys have got a legal overtake, which they have. But Bean's back into P6 there, so that spin hasn't cost him at all. But let me watch that overtake back because I love that one. Let me go watch it. Yeah, I'm back. I just watched the overtake and it was fantastic. He did take the side. Did take the side out, but obviously everybody knows the pit lane speed limiter. So what's the situation now? Everybody on a brand new set of tyres, whether it's mediums or hards, and 4-star has opted to stay out there. So he's not gone for the mediums because they probably won't last. Judging by memory, I did about 20 laps to set of mediums on Sunday's race. They're about 50%. So I think the mediums can go towards the end, but I think he might take a bit of pain towards the end of the race as well. So yeah, he's staying out there, but unfortunately he'll lose out big time once he makes his pit stop, fall all the way back to the field, and that's a big deficit to make up. once he fits on the medium compound tyres. The soft to medium or medium to soft was a possible strategy today. I did it in yesterday's race, although I got spun out at this corner here, which some people know about. But the soft to medium and medium to soft was possible, but people are choosing the safe way to go to mediums, hards, or hards to mediums. Unfortunately, one driver going from hards to mediums, which is 4-star. Maybe goes hards or soft later on, who knows. So one more lap for the safety car then, as we've got Spider down in P13 yet to catch the back of the pack. The Dutch GP back on the calendar since 2021. Supposed to be on the calendar in 2020, but obviously we had COVID that year. As Bean gets a 10-second time penalty for hitting the back of Polish glow stick. So he's lost his end plate, has Bean. And unfortunately for him, a trip to the pits might be necessary for him. A 10-second time penalty to add to his woes as well. Can't wait for this race to get restarted because we might see another fantastic battle. Can Glowstick finally gain his composure and try and get back up there without making any mistakes? Turn 7 or turn 8 was the main place he's made mistakes. But he does have the pace, does the Scotsman, but maybe not the racecraft. Sweet Crown, an experienced champion in CRL, a 3-time world champion, and he's got over 20 wins to his name, multiple podiums as well. And also a season 10.5 Euro Mini champion as well. Sweet Crown's got a lot of experience in league racing. He's been in these situations plenty of times. He knows what to do. And the safety car is in at the end of this lap. So the Mercedes safety car will peel off into the pit lane. We haven't had a safety car of F1 since the Canadian Grand Prix, all those races ago. Singapore was supposed to have a 100% race record, or 100% record of a safety car coming out, but no safety car on that day, which is surprising. The reliability of these cars as well are fantastic, except the Renault engine. As we make our way now towards the final 2 corners, how quickly could Sweet Crown dispatch 4-star? And as we continue with racing then at the final corner, 4-star could judge when to go. How early or how late will he pull the pin? And he goes right now there. We go back to racing under green flags. And immediately ILT Crack is pushing the RB as we go down towards turn 1. Can the Williams driver go on the outside? He's late on the brakes as they both are. As we exit turn 1, Miles got a decent exit out of turn 1. There's Sweet Crown still on the inside line. Will they end this battle going down into turn 2 and turn 3 as we remain side by side? Sweet Crown maybe have a better line around the outside. Can he take 2 for 1? Yes, he can. Sweet Crown puts himself into first place with a lovely move around the outside. I can now Marvin follow quickly, which he can. He puts himself into P2 at turn 7. That was very crucial there for the Williams not to get stuck behind the Aston Martin. And Hobbs has gone for a spin. No, he saves it. He puts himself on the grass, but that's Wee Rabbi. He's made contact with the Red Bull there as he rejoined the track. Rabbi was right there in the wrong place at the wrong time, and here comes Rafi now around the outside. Into turn 10 we go. The hand is going up because the Red Bull made contact with him. But that's a shame for Hobbsy there because he just dipped a wheel on the grass, didn't he? And it caused him to almost spin. And luckily saves the car. He's still in P5, still in this fight, but dropping off the back of this DRS train now he has because he's losing the traction again out of the chicane at turn 12. But here we are. The battle for P1 between Sweet Crown and Marvin continues. The DRS will be enabled. How aggressive is he going to go as we go down towards turn 1? Glowstick needs to dispatch 4-star immediately to have any chance of keeping up with the top 2. Spider and Ruben are swapping places, and Ruben's up into P9. Rabbit's in the pit lane along with Bean. The Mighty Atom is dropping backwards. He's down in P11. And now Glowstick is going to go side by side with 4-star as we climb towards the top of the hill. He's way too... Well, he's left it a bit too late there to try to overtake him because he's off this pack. First and second pulling away from the old runner, the old hard runner, as we go down towards turn 7 and turn 8. Glowstick still can't find a way past. He needs to get past him immediately. There's a lock up there going into 8, which might allow Glowstick to try and go around the outside if he can, which he does. Did he get DRS? I don't think he did because that goes to 4-star. So 4-star will have the DRS, but I don't think he'll fire back on Glowstick because he is on those older hard compound tyres. Glowstick has been released up into P3. Is there any chance of him getting back in this battle for P1 and P2. Had the pace early doors, but now the gap is 1.6. It's very difficult to get back in DRS range once you're out of it, because the guys on the straights, well, you carry more speed, obviously, with the DRS open, and it's so difficult to get your way back in. The only time you can gain is in the corners, but here comes the Williams now. Crack is up the inside into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Oh, he almost lost it out of turn 1. That might allow Glowstick to be even closer. Hobbsy is ahead of Mark Wilson. Those two go side by side. Mark Wilson about exit with Ralphie alongside him, as he's able to defend from the McLaren drive behind. But Sweet Crown's all over the back of Crack. Right to the back of Crack as we make our way now towards the top of the hill at turn 7. It's going to be a fascinating battle between those two. But Sweet Crown's made a mistake at turn 7. That's a big mistake. And here comes his RB teammate now, ready to take advantage as well. So Glowstick being brought back into this DRS range. Very odd mistake there from Sweet Crown. Got skated off by the curb and unfortunately lost the car, but it's still in this DRS range, still in the battle for P1, so it hasn't affected him too much. Lucky there to survive there, because it's so easy to crash once you go out wide on the curb. Very easy to spin the tyres up and lose the back end of the car. 20 laps to go in this race. Got plenty of action in this Grand Prix, and Sweet Crown has made another big mistake, our champion, and he's in the pit lane. Please don't retire, Sweet Crown. Hopefully he doesn't. Let's see what he does. Will he retire? That's what people usually do when they make mistakes like that. Is this going to be... Oh, Sweet Crown's retired from this race, and out he goes. Although he did break his front wing. So our champion then retires, and it's down to Glowstick and RT Crack to decide who will win this Grand Prix. 4-star is on the podium, but we know he needs to pit once again. So who will claim P3? And he's left the session as well, so unfortunately he's out of this race. Big contender, two big contenders out of this Grand Prix, the Dutchman of Sweet Crown, and the man from the north out of this race as well, Harry Palmer. Probably gone back to play ACC. And we can see a massive battle between Mark Wilson and Hobbsy and Ralphie. Hobbsy, unfortunately, making a few mistakes. He could have been up there in P3, but dropping backwards due to that big mistake at turn number 7. Mark Wilson did a great job as well. I think he started outside the top 10. No, P10, sorry. I thought it was Melvin that started down in P10. But actually, Mark Wilson there almost losing the back end of the car because he got on the curbs. And here comes Glowstick. The battle for the lead is on between these two, reminiscent of Season 10 in Division 3. Glowstick around the outside into 1. They both make contact there, but Melvin keeps it, and he goes up the inside once again. Those two making contact. Really hope these two keep it clean. Melvin's gone wide again. Through goes Glowstick. He's back up into P1, and he takes the lead of the race, or will he? Because Melvin's still there alongside him as they go up the hill. More contact being made. As we go down towards turn 7, Glowstick trying to stick around the outside. He goes around the outside and he takes back the lead of the race. Fantastic battling there between those two. Bit here and scare from time to time, as Bean has retired in the pit lane, so we're down to 11 drivers. But this is a fantastic battle for P1 and in P2. Look at that, both sliding on the corner at turn 10 as they try to get the power down. Excellent stuff between these two, Glowstick and Melvin. And the Ferrari then making yellow flags. We're halfway into this race. Glowstick has only made one appearance so far, which back at the Hungarian Grand Prix. So this is Glowstick's second race here, and look to try to take a victory. I think this is one of his favourite tracks. And here comes ILT Crack. Oh, Glowstick's moving there. As we go down towards turn 1 we go. Crack retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. As Glowstick looking for another move on the outside. These two, as Mark Wilson now takes the podium away from 4-star. 4-star is yet to pit, so we know he's the outlier in this. Got to make a pit stop as Hobbsy hits in the back of him. Hobbsy's trying to get a podium because his best finishing place is P4, and that's 2 times as well. Haven't really drank a lot of water today, so that's why my throat is dry, but this is very tight between these two. Very easy to make a mistake as well. One driver can make... Oh, is that close to go for a move there at turn 10? No, the door is closed in his face. But these drivers got 17 laps to decide who will win this Grand Prix. This is very fascinating and entertaining. Ralphie gets stuck on the curb at turn 10. But does Hobbsy know this is a big chance for podium for him? Mark Wilson's doing a very good job so far in P3, dropping 4-star on the older hardcore power tyres, of course. So can he be contention for, yes, he is in contention for podium, but can he defend Hobbsy once 4-star is dispatched? Keeping an eye on the battle for P1 and the battle for P3. One more space left on the podium there for P3 because these two are checking out. Hobbsy's looking to take away P3 in the championship because Blue Noon is not here tonight. Where is 3-4? 3-4's in P7. He's still in this race. I thought he retired ages ago. I forgot about it, but he's there in P7. Oh, that's Crack making a big mistake out of turn 7. He locked the rears up and went for a half spin, and he's gave the lead towards Glowstick. Glowstick now takes the lead away from him. That's a big mistake there from Melvin. That's on the entry towards 7, because usually we see the mistakes after the corner. But that was a very interesting mistake there from Melvin. Can he get himself back in DRS range now? Maybe got the brake bias shifted, maybe towards 50 or 51%. My brake bias was 52% on Sunday. Still felt some the brakes rear locking. He's not in DRS range, so he can't get himself back in DRS by under a second. 4-stars did a good job on the older hardcore power tyres, it must be said, in P4. Not dropping backwards, although Hobbsy is now all at the back of his gearbox. So let's see if there's a move going down into 1, which there is. 4-stars defending the inside line. Hobbsy's forced to go around the outside. He should be able to with the better tyres, but 4-star manages to hold him off and stays in P4. We see plenty of moves being made down into turn 1 on the outside. 4-star goes a bit wide, but Hobbsy's not able to get through again. And this is really costing Hobbsy because he allowed Mark Wilson to pull away. And Ralphie, the Dutchman in P6 there, just holding on to the back of this train with 3-4 being attached as well in P7. The gap has extended to 1.8 seconds between Melvin and Glowstick. So looks like Glowstick has been left alone in this race. He had a bit of a scrappy start when he made those 2 big mistakes. But now the safety car came out. His teammate was the one that made mistakes. And he was able to gain and benefit from it and pull away. Spider there inside the top 10. Can he defend from Wee Rabby? Wee Rabby's on another set of medium compound tyres because he lost his wing earlier when he made contact, I think, with Hobbsy as he reached on the track in the middle of the road, and just a fortunate incident there. 4-stars just clinging onto the back of the DRS of Mark Wilson, but I think he should do hard to soft, surely, because there's no point going on the mediums now. It's a big DRS train between those guys, and I think Malvin's chance of winning the race is potentially over. Glowstick just keeps pulling time on him in P1, and there's no response from the Williams driver at all. Glowstick, has he finally settled into a rhythm? Can he finally now just bring it home towards the end of this race without making any mistakes like he's done at turn 7 twice? And he'll feel the victory he'll taste the victory once again, as he did in season 10, division 3 or tier 3. So 4-star is dropping backwards as Hobbsy there goes off the track, takes a wide angle, and now Ralphie's through. He goes up into P5, but Hobbsy, is he going to come back again? Going down into 11 and 12? No, he's not. You see, Hobbsy has a big chance to get the podium, but he keeps making these small mistakes. And now he's dropped himself into P6. Hobbsy's had the pace, but it's just the small mistakes he's been making. He'll kick himself after this race, but Melvin is in the pit lane, picks up a 10-second time penalty as well, for good measure. Those hard compound tyres can go towards the end, but this is now converted into a 2-stop race, which is very surprising. Is he trying to hunt down Glowstick? Does he realise he doesn't have the outright pace to try and beat him? Ralphie's alongside 4-stars. We go down towards turn 3 now, as he'll try and look for a switchback and a better exit, but he can't do it though. 4-star is amazing defending. So it is defending amazingly against those guys with fresher tyres. And he's still sticking in the back of Mark Wilson's DRS. So 4-star's got some great pace in the Aston Martin. It's a shame he's out of position though and out of place in P3. For those who are new to Formula 1, but you all know we got to pit again, or pit to change onto a different tyre compound. That's the rule. Got to use 2 different tyre compounds if it's dry. And if it's wet, that rule don't apply, even if it becomes dry midway through. So Melvin's rejoined at a P8, but his strategy has been blown out the window now. Because 1, he won't catch glow stick, and 2, he's got a 10-second time penalty. His first target is Ruben there in P7. A 2-stop strategy is not the way to go unless there's a safety car to change all of it. Lap 24 gives me bad memories from yesterday's race. And that's the Williams then making his way through on Ruben as 3-4's pitted 2. He puts himself up into P6. What's the gap to the leader? 19 seconds in 12 laps. He won't do it. The wrong strategy there from Melvin. I'm quite sure if he thought he had the pace on the medium quad bar tries to try and get on the back of him. This is interesting now because I think there's a chance of Ralphie to get the podium too, because we know 4-star's got to pits for the first time in this race. He's just begging that another safety car comes out, because if a safety car comes out now, he'll be back into play. He won't be the outlier in this. He will fight generally for a podium, but unfortunately we know he's got to make a pit stop. So that safety car in the first few laps came out at the wrong time, and that was caused by Harry Palmer. So I'm sure 4-star and Palmer are exchanging words about that one in the party, because they're all in the party together. But you know, 4-star's done a good job so far, sticking to the back of Mark Wilson's DRS, and Ralphie's there too. Can Ralphie, the Dutchman, get a podium? Hobbsy's made a lot of mistakes in this race. The gap is 12.1 seconds. There's a glow stick. Oh, the Haas or Hobbsy, they're really squirming away for traction at turn 3. But when is 4-star going to pit? That's the question on the soft compound tyres. Where is Melvin? He's up into P6. So can Melvin potentially catch Hobbsy, Ralphie, 4-star this train and get himself back on the podium? Is that a chance for him? Maybe. I think it is, because those guys are just 6 seconds up the road. So I think Melvin's got a chance to get back on the podium again. But no, he hasn't actually, because he's got a 10-second time penalty. So yeah, that's going to be a struggle for Melvin there. Maybe he's just cost himself a podium by pitting. There is 10 laps left to go in this race. 4-star is at DRS range, and he's also making his way in the pit lane then. So he's going for his first pit stop in this Grand Prix. I'm not sure how many positions he can gain. I think he might go on the soft compound tyres. Melvin sets the fast up as a Grand Prix in P5. Now the gaps between Ralphie and Mark Wilson is 1.3. So Hobbsy, can he get himself on the podium? He's had a lot of chances so far in this race, but at the same time keeps making small mistakes which allowed Ralphie through. But Ralphie's at DRS range on Mark Wilson, so he could be vulnerable unless Ralphie can get himself under a second and try and get himself a DRS range. Where is 4-star's rejoined in P7, not the soft compound tyres? I think he just rejoined ahead of Wee Rabbi. There he is in P8. But I'm surprised the soft compound tyres can go towards the end. I had a lot of data on them in yesterday's race, and they were fantastic. As Hobbsy's made a slight mistake there out of turn 11 and turn 12, so not liking this track whatsoever with these small mistakes he's having. Ralphie is just almost in DRS range, but I don't think he got it. Yeah, he did. He did get it, so that's a good job there for Ralphie to have the pace to try and get himself in DRS range. And he can use the DRS and the back of Mark Wilson to try and stop the man in P4 to overtake him. And this could be third. This could be his third consecutive, or a third time, of finishing in P4 for Hobbsy. There's been a chance for a podium in this race, but those small mistakes are creeping in. Glowstick, however, keeps extending the gap to 14.1 seconds. It's a shame, though, that those 5 split up during the race. Sweet Crown, Palmer, Glowstick, Marvin. Pretty sure there's one more person, but I'm trying to remember. Rabbi as well, yeah, Rabbi, towards the early stages of this Grand Prix. The trouble now for Hobbsy, he's got Marvin right behind him. The gap is 1.6 on a brand new set of medium compound tyres, but we know there's a 10-second time penalty that's coming Marvin's way. for speeding in the pit lane, so I don't think he can get it removed. But at the same time, what can Hobbsy do? Try let Marvin go and chase after Ralphie and Mark Wilson and just try and follow through if he can. As he comes across the line again to set 11.4, sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix, purple in the middle and first sector, and in the third too. The Williams driver in P5. So Franco Colapinto made his debut as well. No, he didn't. Sorry, he didn't make his debut here. It was at the Monza Grand Prix. The corner we just exited that turn, that's where Logan Sargent crashed, and that was his last race of the season, unfortunately for him. He crashed twice last season at the Dutch GP, crashed in qualifying 3. And here comes Marvin now on the right at the back of the Haas. Where is he going to go for the overtake? I wonder, probably down into turn 11 or turn 12. Is he close enough? Or maybe around the outside of turn 10, but not there yet. Maybe a switchback as Hobbsy tries to defend, but there's no defence that Hobbsy could do really against the Williams on better tyres. As Hobbsy's main target is the McLaren and the Sauber, as the Williams gives him a bit of a tap as he took the corner there really aggressively. So Ralphie should let the Williams go and just focus on Mark Wilson. Focus on staying in the back of Mark Wilson. There's no point fighting with the Williams behind. He's got a 10-second time penalty. I don't believe he can break 10 seconds. And here comes Ralphie for P2. And he puts himself into second place at turn 1 now. Can Mark Wilson respond? Williams, because the Williams now is taking advantage as we go side by side into turns. It's a bit of contact, and here comes Mark Wilson off the road. Rejoins in front of him, and he shuffles down into P4. Now P5 gone for a spin. Oh, Mark Wilson, he was in contention for a podium. Unfortunately, making contact there with Marvin. Got sent off the road, and Rabbi and Freefall having a scrap for P8. Freefall is ahead of Rabbi. It's always nice to see Freefall race, it always is, as here comes Marvin now to take Peter away from Ralphie. So Hobbsy will get a podium, maybe. I don't know if Marvin has the pace to break away 10 seconds. Maybe it does, I don't know. Now he's up into P2. Most importantly, he's got to break the DRS gap between himself and Ralphie. That's his main target. But 6 laps is a bit of a tall order to break a 10-second gap, so I don't think he will. Maybe 5 seconds, but in this game it's a lot more punishing if you pick up a 10-second time penalty. Obviously, what I meant to say is it's a lot more punishing if you speed in the pit lane, because the game used to give you a 5-second time penalty in the older games, but this one gives you a 10-second time penalty, so it really is brutal in terms of penalties. But can he break the DRS gap and potentially try and... Oh, I don't think he can. Maybe I'm being a bit optimistic there with Marvin and P2. So this is another chance for Hobbsy to try and get himself back on the podium. He's had a lot of chances so far in this race. Bottled every single one of them. But here comes... Oh, they're inside each other, I think. They were inside each other for one moment as Marvin there just stays in P2. So did he make a big mistake out of turn 8? Oh, he's drifting again, is Marvin there. So he's not doing himself any favours on newer tyres. Should theoretically pull away. But this has brought Hobbsy now back into play. I might do podium interviews at the end of this Grand Prix, why not? Although I don't really have much intel on what happened in the last few races. But now Hobbsy is going to put the McLaren driver under pressure as we exit the final corner. Here is Hobbsy right at the back of the McLaren. Can he defend as we go down towards turn 1? Hobbsy there just breaking on the straight, but McLaren goes out wide and Hobbsy almost loses traction too. Not quite sure what the logic there Hobbsy was thinking about, because the inside line would have been the way to go, but he just stayed in the back of the McLaren in the slipstream. The gap has broken between Ralphie and Marvin, but there's 5 laps left to go, so I think Marvin's chances for a podium have gone. I think Mark Wilson should have let Marvin go there. There was no point fighting him. I know it's a race, but at the same time, I've got to think long-term game. What's best for you and who you're fighting ideally. I'm not quite sure whose fault it was, because it was in the moment. It happened too quickly, but in hindsight's a beautiful thing. Should have let him go and attack Ralphie. Then once Marvin pulled away from Ralphie and himself, just try and focus on fighting with Ralphie to keep Hobbsy behind him and try and take away P2 or 3, depending where Marvin was at the time. Oh, Marvin's retired. Is that a safety car? It is. It's a safety car for the second time in this Grand Prix, and into the pit lane goes second and third. No brainer to pit on the soft compound tyres, of course. This could bring Mark Wilson back into play. Can he fight Ralphie and Hobbsy for a podium, as Glowstick has passed the pit lane entry, but he's okay because the safety car is behind him, so he hasn't got to worry. And of course, we've got one person who is still out there in P2. That could really be handy for Glowstick in P1 there, because Ralphie and Hobbsy can't attack him because they got to dispatch 4-star first. My voice has literally gone. I haven't drank any water yet. Should have done throughout the whole race, stay hydrated, but I forgot my TV's about to turn off, so I need to go find the remote quickly before the whole PlayStation turns off. I don't know why that is, because when my TV turns off, the whole PlayStation turns off. I'm not quite sure how to stop that. It never did that before. The mighty Atom picks himself up a 10-second time penalty in the pit lane. Puts on a bonus set of softs. He has got a bit of end plate damage. Glowstick, our race leader, is in the pit lane. Was cruising towards a victory, but could be under pressure from the likes of Ralphie and Hobbsy soon. Or maybe even 4-star if he has the pace, one, who knows. But there is going to be about 1 or 2 lap shootout towards the end of this race, because the Williams driver has crashed and done a Logan Sargent, and he's out of this Grand Prix. We've only got 2 more races left towards the end of the season as well, so not many rounds to go, as I think there is only 10 races on the calendar. The next 2 races are... Oh, sorry, there is 1 more race left, sorry. This is the penultimate race. There's 1 more race left, which is the Belgian Grand Prix. That is the last race of the season. I think that RB, the Racing Bulls, should have the championship advantage, although one of the drivers is out of the Grand Prix, the other one is in first. Williams are currently last in the standings. Where is the highest Williams? Well, he's retired, isn't he? Yeah, he's gone, so no points for him. Williams and Alpine are in a close fight with each other. Red Bull and Sauber, also the gap between them is 1 point. Mark Wilson's in P5, and one of the Red Bulls is down in P8, the other one has retired, so this was a big chance for Red Bull to try and extend their advantage ahead of Sauber, but Mark Wilson's still in P5, so I think Sauber will overtake Red Bull. We saw Harry Palmer, retired earlier on in the race as well. Sorry for those who are wondering why I'm calling him Harry Kane. Not because of the footballer, as you would have thought. It's because I commentate for another league, and there's someone called Harry Kane in there, and I've been commentating over here for 2 years, so got confused between those 2 names. Not because of the footballer. Because while you're probably thinking, why would you get confused between Harry Palmer and Harry Kane for? But yeah, I don't really usually commentate over Harry Palmer a lot. Freefor's done a good job in P7 there. The wee Scotsman behind Wubin, and we'll see then where he finishes up during the end of this race. He started down in P15, of course. Didn't set a lap time because he joined too late and he got disqualified. Made contact with Mr. Bean. Who was it at the time? Was it Melvin or Bean? And Danielle says, I honestly did think, I'm sure he keeps calling him Harry Kane. Yeah, it slipped out a few times. I'm just used to saying it, that's why. Because the other Harry Kane I commentate over is fighting for championship. He's fought for championship in the last 3 seasons, and he's doing it once again. So I always say his name a lot, and I always speak to him after the race in the podium interviews. And the safety car is coming in towards the end of this lap then. So can Glowstick maintain the lead of this Grand Prix? We know 4-star is on the older medium compound tyres. So the likes of Ralphie and Hobbsy, Mark Wilson needs to dispatch you quickly. and the podium fight could continue. Who will claim P3 in the end of this race? Will it be Hobbsy or will it be Wilson? Can Ralphie keep ahead of Hobbsy as well? His main target is to overtake 4-star and try and pull away while Scott caught between himself and Hobbsy. Good for Close Tier because he's got a rear gunner essentially, because another 4-star is on the medium compound tyres. Obviously not down in him, but on the mediums he won't be quicker because the soft compound tyres, there's only 3 laps left to go in this Grand Prix anyway, so the soft should be good and fired up and ready for the last 2 laps of this Grand Prix. The penultimate lap as we lead them away, going down into turn 1. Can a 4-star maintain on the podium? I know he's got some good defence as well. Remember what he did against hard on hard tyres, old hard compound tyres versus new. He defended, but the softs we're talking about, the qualified tyre, especially with 2 laps left to go, they shouldn't grain. But Ralphie gets on the curb at the exit of turn 3. Hobbsy might take advantage, but he opts to stay behind him. 2 riskers go side by side. Ask Ralph Boschon and Jack Crawford as well when they crashed in F2 last season with that massive crash in a wet race. And also I think it was Ralph Boschon who got himself, no, it was who was it at the time? Was it Teo Porcher who crashed there too last season in the feature race? And look at that, Mark Walsh dropped down as contact there. The exit of turn 10, Wilbur's dropped down too, so did they go side by side? Now free fall of Rabi up into P5 and in P6. The gap has broken. The gap now is 2.1 seconds between Glowstick and 4-star, so they've got this in the bag. Now, this get very interesting. Ralphie gets a 3-second time penalty. That's his chance for a podium gone now. And now Hobbsy surely will get a podium. This is a big, well, the goal. Then here he is then, side by side as we go down towards turn 1. Hobbsy takes 3rd place away. Will he outbreak himself? No, he doesn't. Puts himself into P3. Hobbsy's had many open goals, but keeps missing. But this time, surely he won't miss, as 4-star is now ahead of him. Got to make sure he just make contact with somebody on all the tyres, because we've seen it plenty of times when someone's on newer tyres and the guy ahead of you's on older. We've seen it many occasions where people come into contact because you carry more speed than them, can brake later, and you're caught unaware as well. So got to be very wary of what the guy ahead of you is doing. But 4-star, out of all of this, could be on the podium. The last 2-3 laps, I thought he could get swamped by the rest of the field, but actually he's done a fantastic job. This is an unexpected podium, because strategy has got his way twice in this Grand Prix. Obviously the second time he decided to stay out there, but he could be on course for a podium. He should be, because the McLaren driver in P4 has got a penalty. So unexpected podium for 4-star after the safety car came out at the wrong time, but we've turned our attention to, as he may get out dragged on the line. Let's keep an eye on Hobbsy to see if he does. Glowstick comes across the line to win the race, but can Hobbsy outdrag 4-star? Let's have a look. No, he can't. That was super close as 3-4 up into P4. Good race with 3-4. Very sexy drive indeed from the man from Scotland named P4. Haas pick up a whole bunch of points there. That's a fantastic bunch of points there for Haas. They needed the constructors too. Even though 3-4's in the Williams, Haas, it says Williams there, which is quite confusing. I'm not quite sure why it says that. But there is our race winner, Glowstick. I took his moment away because I wanted to keep it out of P2. But ever since those 2 mistakes, he came back strong. He beat Crack, while Crack made his own mistakes. Led the race, and never looked back since. To take his first win of the season, does Jack. There are your results then. I have decided to do podium interviews because why not? It was an interesting race, and the guys I was speaking to in the party earlier on we're speaking to here now. So hopefully they got my invite and those 3 can join. Hopefully they will know what the invite's for as well, as 4-star has joined the party. Here he is.
Hello. I think the others are coming. We were all together.
A very delightful race that was, because I'd say you were the wrong strategy of the whole race until
Yes, I agree.
that. Yeah, I'll start with Hobbsy first, the man that finished in P3.
Hello.
Well, Hobbsy, I wasn't expecting to talk to you today because you made. sorry, I'm sorry. But Matthew, you've had a bit of a bumpy race so far, because ever since on lap 1, you made a lot of you made contact. I can't remember who it was, with Bean or Crack, but I couldn't remember who it was.
They made contact with me. I think that was the issue.
Yeah, you always blame other people, Hobbsy. Classic there.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, look, turn 1, narrow track. There's always going to be contact. It's fine.
What about 2, 3, 4, and 5?
All the way down to 14.
There was no damage. No one got damage. Everyone's happy.
Oh, yeah, one person did get damaged, by the way. It was Rabbi, because when you spun out of turn 7, you came back on track, and
Yes,
Rabbi was there.
I clipped the grass.
Oh, no. There we go. Solves all the problems. Yeah. So Matthew, you had a lot of chances to get on the podium today, but something just always happened, whether you made mistakes or you hit the back of somebody. But yeah, that was very good towards the end of the Grand Prix, because the guy ahead of you, I can't remember his name, picked up a 3-second tire penalty and ultimately got back in the podium. So
Ralphie. It was Ralphie.
right, yeah, Ralphie.
Yeah, I mean, the setup wasn't the greatest. I had no wings, so I was just kept swallowed up on the straights. I'm not blaming anyone for the setup. I know who is to blame, but I won't publicly air it. But yeah, no, I'm happy with P3. So
I presume Harry Palmer.
It's normally Palmer's fault, to be fair.
Yeah. Someone on this podium.
You've seen a lot of. Oh, I think it was close to it then. But you've seen a lot of things in forward in front of you, because Mark Wilson got made contact with Malvin, and Malvin picked himself up a 10-second tire penalty, and he retired too. And 4-star was ahead of you, and the McLaren driver picked up a 3-second tire penalty. So there was many open goals there, Hobbsy, for you, but you almost dropped the ball at the end.
Yeah. Look, can only react to what happens. So if people get penalties, that's their fault. If people crash, that's their fault. And I'm there just to... Nice clean race. No warnings. No damage.
If Harry crashes, that's Hubsy's fault.
Well, but I'm glad you're on the podium anyway, because after all that, when you made mistakes and almost lost the back end of the car, people got through. People just disappeared in front of you or picked up penalties, and at the end of the day, he was there to pick up the pieces.
Exactly.
And Matthew, did you know that I caught you overtaking the pit lane too? I caught it on stream.
Yeah, that perfectly legal.
Yeah, it is legal. It is legal. I said it
yeah.
on stream. That was a fantastic overtake. Watch your back.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had to. I was struggling behind him because obviously wings and he was going really slow, so...
So that was intentional?
Yeah.
It was a very nice move though, mate.
Thank you.
Congrats on P3.
Thank you very much.
And how do you feel for the Belgium Grand Prix next week?
We'll find out next week. When I jump on that half hour before.
Oh, yeah, I know you've been playing a lot of FIFA recently, so you don't have a lot of time to practice, do you?
No time.
Well, nice to see on the podium for the first time this season, because you've missed out in the other races. So when I commentate, you're on the podium.
Exactly. So if you commentate next week, we'll speak again.
Hopefully, or I'll speak to you beforehand anyway.
Well, yeah.
Oh, congrats to P3.
Thank you.
Moving on to the man in P2, unexpected podium from 4-star, because the first stint the safety car caught him out because with the hard compound tyres, so he did his normal hauls to meet his strategy. And also the second safety car came out, he opted to stay out there, expectedly get swamped by the guys on the soft compound tyres, but defended beautifully and finished in P2. So 4-star Yeah, I bet you bet in your mind that you had no thought of a podium at all today.
Qualifying, I felt okay. It was Palmer that ruined it and dashed all my hopes. In fairness, because if the safety car would have come later or earlier, then other people would have done some different things. But he decided to stack it when he did, and that was from that point on, I thought it was game over. But then the staying out on the hards just got me track position, and it kind of panned out from there.
And how are you feeling as well when the guys behind you on the soft compound tires? Did you think, oh, these guys are going to overtake me easily?
Yes and no. It's quite difficult to overtake at Zandvoort, but I thought if I manage my ERS and deploy it, I knew I had 2 laps to kind of hang on for. So it's just about managing ERS, and then I saw Ralphie picked up the penalty, so I knew he was kind of gone, and then I knew what wings Hobbs he had because he can't get his own setup. So I thought I might have a chance there. So that's good. But me, Hobbsy, and Ralphie were together last week as well, which is pretty awesome. It's the 3 of us kind of crossing the line together 2 weeks in a row, and we were together the whole race last week, and almost the same this week at the end.
And also, James, during your hard stint as well, when that safety car came in, you managed to keep up with Mark Wilson in front of you at the time and keep those guys at bay. So even though you're on all the tyres, you still did a great job. That's twice you've done it during 2 safety cars, staying out on all the tyres, and it paid off for you in the end. So track position was key as well, but great defending towards the end of the Grand Prix as well. So that was great defending. You've been on the defence the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of choice after the first safety car. I kind of committed to it. Then I was waiting for a second one. Typically, I'd waited a bit longer. Mind you, then I lost track position. Now I just had to make the pit stop in the end and just get on with it. And I was catching, Wilson was running in 5th or 6th, I think. And me and Freefield were kind of hunting him down. And then the safety car came out, and I thought, well, might as well stay out, got nothing to lose, and it worked out.
It did as well. So congrats on P2, mate. That was a fantastic race from you to defend from those guys on better tyres. And you were on the wrong strategy the whole time, but still managed to find your way on the podium in P2. So well done on that consistent drive today. I didn't see any mistakes from you, and that's why you're up here on the podium.
I don't think I got any warnings. I nearly ran into the back of Mark Wilson at one point, but I'm guessing that's because of different wing setups. But yeah, aside from that, it was it's alright. It's pretty solid. It's fine. Freefall was roasting me as well for my starting on hard strategy that I'm famed for, and it worked out again.
Hards to mediums is usually the way to go, but unfortunately the time of the safety car came at the wrong time with Harry Palmer causing that safety car. You must have been absolutely furious when that safety car came out, the first one.
I probably called him a few things in the party. Yeah, I probably did.
I will too.
Yeah.
But anyways, congrats to P2, mate.
Thank you.
And how do you feel for the Belgian Grand Prix?
I quite like Belgium. I do it quite a lot on iRacing, but like Hobbsy, I'll come on an hour before next week's race and get a setup from somewhere, whoever I happen to find, and then get on with it. So we'll see.
Good stuff indeed, mate. And we move on to our race winner. So Glowstick, congratulations. It's your second appearance here in the mini league, and you managed to get a win out of it. Now it looked a bit unlikely when they made that big mistake down at turn 7 twice, and you were out of the DRS train. But every time you were out of it, you came back in the DRS train. Then that first safety car brought you back into play. Your teammate made a big mistake, and also Crack made a big mistake as well. So bit of a roller coaster ride for you today. And how do you feel about this win?
I mean, yeah, it was a good win. I wasn't expecting it, but during qualifying, when I qualified within like a 10th of Wouter, I was like, do you know what, I could have a chance tonight. And everything worked out despite the silly mistakes and spins I made during the race, but it just worked out in the end. I'm not sure what happened with Wouter, but on my screen he just kind of didn't turn in for the banking, and he kind of just went straight into a wall. But I'm not too sure if it was maybe a wheel disconnect or something. And then Crack, I'm not sure what happened. Apparently he spun on the final corner. But yeah, just everything seemed to work out today.
When you took the lead of the race on lap 8, you made a big mistake down in turn 7 and turn 8 and gave up the lead and gave up also second and third. So those big mistakes, I thought, right, I think, were you pushed a bit too hard? Were you a bit too confident in the Grand Prix? Was it lapse of concentration, or was it just a silly mistake, like you said?
a bit of a silly mistake and pushing too hard. I was more because I had a feeling there was going to be a safety car quite soonish. So I was just pushing to try and get the lead, to try and get the advantage, but no, it's just pushing too hard and a little bit of a silly mistake on my end.
And when you saw your own teammate go out of the race, were you relieved or did you feel for it? Because I know you were in a Constructors' Championship fight, but at the same time, it's your second race of the season, so did you not care? And were you a bit relieved you went?
I was like, it was a bit of like relief, but it was a little bit sad as well, because it's like, as you say, we're fighting for constructors, and it's like I was hoping to get a 1-2 with him, but it's just one of them things, and I still managed to get good points for us, despite his unfortunate DNF.
Yeah, he made a mistake on lap 15 because you were behind 4-star. You couldn't get past him quickly in the nick of time because the top two of Melvin and Sweet Crown pulled away. Then when you finally got past 4-star, it was Sweet Crown who made a mistake and you're on the back of the DRS train. So did you think at that time that, there's another chance for me to win this Grand Prix because now you're inside the top two's DRSs?
Yes. Although I was a bit worried with Crack because he looked really pasty today, and he was pretty quick today. I was saying before him as a little bit of a joke, but a little serious as well. Like, oh, this is gonna be Netherlands Part 2, where me and him were battling for the win.
I said that as well.
I think it was either last season or the season before, back in 23. But yeah, it's more like a little part 2 to that. But yeah, we had a good battle. Well done. Unfortunate for DNFing, and I was having a good battle with him and Vouter, so it was really fun race.
Yeah, when I saw you in qualifying in P2, it brought back a few memories because I knew you were strong at this track, and I remember a race where you was up there, and it was you, Stefan, Crack, and other people as well, and you were very strong around here too with Rapid, and it just brought back memories, and I had to go and find it to clarify what I was talking about was true, and it was true. You won the race, didn't you, last season or last game?
Yes, I did. I did win that race as well, and Crack didn't DNF in that race, but still, good battles all around. It was fun. It was entertaining on your end, I hope. But yeah, it was just good fun.
Yeah, it was good fun for me as well because I was entertained on the whole race, especially the battle for P2 at the end with 4-star Hobbsy and Ralphie as well. But during that second safety car, when you saw that 4-star was on the medium compound tyres, did you think, this should be a bit easy for me because those guys are newer softs are stuck behind 4-star, so therefore it should be a bit easy to pull away, put that gap before they overtake him?
Yeah, I was expecting him to pit, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to stay on the mediums, but I was thinking like Ralphie could put a bit of pressure if he overtakes James or 4-star, but he didn't manage to get past, and the 4-star pitting good defence, so well done on him to get the P2, well done Hobbsy to get the P3 as well. But yeah, it's just towards the end it was like more chill, but I was still pushing to get that extra point for the fastest lap, and I managed to get it. So it's fun, it's chill.
Yeah, I didn't know you got the fast lap of the Grand Prix because I know I was keeping an eye on the battle for P2, 3 and 4, but yeah, congratulations, stay close to it. For some reason you are very good at this track. What is it about this track? Because the 23 was strong, and now this game you're strong, so is it the track in particular that suits your driver style?
I really enjoy the track. It's definitely up there for one of my favourites, and I'm not. Maybe it's just more pad suitable. It's more of a pad suitable track, but I'm not too sure because I'm still on pad, and it's just I don't know what it is. It's just I'm good at that track, and maybe it's the windy corners, maybe it's something, but or maybe it's just pad traction as people call it, but could be anything.
Yeah, I'm on the pad too, and I had a race around here on Sunday. I was very quick, potential for a podium. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. Well, I do agree with you because I very struggled at the track. I very struggled at the track. Yeah,
Hmm?
I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know. I'm just reading a message at the same time. But yeah. Sorry, Glowstick. I got a bit distracted with the message. Congratulations
You're
today on
okay, man.
P1. I had another message for you, but I just completely forgot. But yeah, congratulations on P1 for you today. You did a fantastic job, even though you had made those slight mistakes in the first stint and came back strong in the second stint and dominated towards the second half as well. So well done today, mate. Congrats.
Thank you, and I'll see you next week then.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, see you all at the Belgian Grand Prix next week on Monday at 8 o'clock. And congratulations, 4-star Glowstick for 1 and 2, and Hobbsy for 3rd place. We're lucky to Ralphie, picked up that 3-second tap as his home Grand Prix on the last corner on the last lap. That's a shame there for him, but these things do happen. And yeah, thank you for watching the stream today. It's been very entertaining with you guys, and yeah, thank you very much. My voice is literally gone. And also, I want to say one thing as well. I knew that Bosch Evans would find a way to sabotage the stream. I just knew it. Somebody had to do it. So which one of you three invited him to a party? Invited him to this party? It was a closed party, by the way.
Not
No.
me. It was not me.
So
No,
it was Hobbs.
I didn't invite him.
So it was Hobbsy.
I don't want to be the one that we race in. Never mind any other fucker.
Bosch Evans managed to find a way to sabotage it again, even though it's a closed party. Anyways,
Oh, well.
we ride it off there, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Goodbye.